All right. I get to be the one that introduces our speaker of the day, Reverend Jenny Seeley. Reverend Jenny Seeley is a lifelong resident of Hampton Roads and has been a realtor for over 40 years. Jenny has been a member of the chapel since August 2019 and has previously served as vice president on the board of directors and is now serving as Novitiate Minister with the Metaphysical Chapel of Life. She is the owner and operator of Divinely Unified, a spiritual center with 2 locations serving the Tidewater area. Her love of spirit is her driving force to hold development circles, teach classes, and support others in their dream of embracing their God-given gifts. Each person Jenny encounters is supported in their own unique style to find their truth of who they are. She loves all kinds of healing, and especially the releasing of trapped emotions from our DNA and our cell memories. She teaches the laying on of hands spiritual healing training program at the chapel. During the summer at Jenny's place, she and other healers offer spiritual healing in her pool, which is quite lovely. She enjoys being introduced to all kinds of philosophies that open her mind to all the possibilities and loves sharing her experiences with others to do the same. That is true. She walks in love of this great infinite universe, and she is just a wonderful human being. So let's give a hand to Jenny Seeley.
I'm so excited today to be here. So I'm going to try to keep time limit and all that stuff, but I left my little talk in the other room. So this is going to be fun, right? So today I want to talk to you about mediumship. Mediumship is that thing that we do when we talk to dead people, right? But not really dead people. They are really alive. I love the world meditation because it says that we have a spark of God inside of us. All of you have a spark of God. And don't you think all those on the other side have a spark of God too? So when we're really looking at talking to the people on the other side, we're talking to other sparks of God, right? We just can't see them. So if we all merge together as one, we are all one. Mediumship, the actual evidential part of mediumship in America, was discovered like in the late 1840s, if you ever heard the story of the Fox sisters. Have any of you ever heard that story? It's a cool story where they actually proved evidence that they were talking to spirits. So a man was killed in their house and they were actually able to get details of the death. So that's where evidential mediumship came about in the late 1800s, where you can get evidential information from people on the spirit side. So that's mediumship. Really, there's only, what the Spiritualist Association says, is really only 2 reasons why you would do mediumship. And the number one is to prove continuity of life. If I give you a message from your loved one on the other side, it proves that they're still alive and they have continuity of life. And the second reason is to give comfort to people who are grieving. Those are 2 very important reasons, right, for mediumship. But I like all mediumship. So I like everything, the all that is the all. So we at this church deal a lot with psychic development. And psychic development, I was told early on, is just about your energy field. This energy field that includes your past, your present, and your future. And so we touch into that energetic field. I think it's much more than that. I think there's so much more than that. Because not only are we talking about source, not only are we talking about our loved ones on the other side, we're talking about our spirit guides, our teachers, our masters, our angels, our cosmic consciousness. All of that. I had to say it like that because that's how they like me, consciousness. But anyway, it's all that as one, right? And that's what the meditation was talking about. We are one light within us all, right? And so that's what, when you come to this chapel and you're sitting there at the very end, waiting for that message, because that message is so important, right? It gives us comfort. It gives us knowing. It gives us confirmation of what we're going through right now, right? And that's what's so important. And then when you can get a message from a loved one on the other side with evidence, I'm always accused of not believing in evidence, but that's not the case. I think when you get a message from your grandma and your grandma says, I know you wore that pink and white polka dotted dress, but you hated it. That is confirmation, right? You can know that's your grandma talking to you. You know, when you get I got a message one time. The lady was going through describing her. She's a tall woman. She has her hair all up in a bun and she's holding a pencil and she's, you know, died of a heart attack or whatever. And I'm like, and then she says, and did you have a speech impediment in the 5th grade? And I'm like, oh, yeah. And she said, and she was your teacher that helped you with your speech impediment for you to give this 5th grade graduation speech. I'm like, oh, now that's some evidence right there, right? That's some evidence I could take. That is when you're like, whoa, that is cool stuff, right? And that's when you know Spirit is communicating with us daily. And it's just not the mediums. Each and every one of us are a medium. Each and every one of us can be a medium. Trish, we're thinking right now of doing some mediumship classes, some intense training, so you can get in tune with that medium inside of you. Because today, I think it's so important that we do that, right? Spirit is trying to reach us. They're trying to talk to us. They're trying to let us know this world meditation. I think this world meditation was done in the 1970s or something, wasn't it? Do you remember, Reverend Bill? It was a long time ago, but the story is still the same. The world is changing, and it's changing more today than it's ever changed. And we are asking to step up to the plate and be the change that we want to see in the world, right? We are the ones being asked to shed our light throughout this whole world to change the darkness into light. And when we merge with each one of us, when our spark merges with all the other sparks, our light becomes so bright that the darkness can't exist. When you shine light on darkness, it's not there. Well, the reason why this is about mediumship is because our spirit people on the other side, they want you to hear. They want you to know that they are here helping you. Now, normally every speech I do, it's about love and it's about healing and those trapped emotions that we all have. But we've done a lot of that, right? We've stepped out, we've done a lot. And now our ancestors are saying, what about us? What about us? They're healed because they're on the other side, right? But we still have their DNA inside of us. We still have a portion of what they went through. When you look over history and you look at all of the wars and all of the murders and massacres, all the things that happened over the years, that could still be in our DNA too, right? The persecutions. Do you think Jesus was the only one that was ever crucified? That was their normal way of doing business. If they didn't like what you were saying, you were crucified. Do you think some of that is in our DNA? That our ancestors are saying, hey, let's get rid of this. This is not who we are. We want to be whole. We want to be pure. We want to be this light. So they're stepping up, tapping us on the shoulder. So it's kind of like, to me, our responsibility to say, pay attention, to feel them, to know them, to ask, how can we be of service? How can we help? So it's funny, call out your name if you need a friend. That was funny because that's what Spirit said. Why don't we ever call out their name? Why don't we ever say, John, Dad, Mom, help me. I need this help, right? I need help. And they're standing there just waiting, tapping you on the shoulder going, hello, hello. And they will call out your name. Have you ever been in a place where all of a sudden you hear, have you been woken out of a deep sleep? Jenny, I'm like, what am I supposed to be doing right now? And the deal is when that happens, they're being very clear to you. They want your attention. So stop what you're doing, be present in the now, and say, what is it? What is it that I'm supposed to be listening to, paying attention to, experiencing, feeling? Now, when I went to Arizona, y'all know that I'm a trance medium. And the reason why I'm a trance medium is I like to go into trance and feel spirit and have you feel spirit from there. So took an advanced trance class from these beautiful people from from Britain, came over. And that class was life-changing for me. Not to say that I didn't think spirit on the other side is pure love, showing us pure love, comes through my readings all the time. But to sit there and really know that you are sitting with spirit, and spirit has this unconditional love for us, this unconditional love that we can't even figure it out, right? We don't really know what unconditional love is. I've been accused that sometimes as a reader, I give too many messages from grandma. You know, grandma's an easy fix. Grandma's love. Grandma is always of love and peace and kindness. And most of the time, your grandma's already on the other side if you have some age on you, right? And I'm like, that is so wrong because I am a grandma. I work with my grandma and her grandma and probably her grandma too, right? And grandma is love. I don't care what you say. You don't know unconditional love till you've been a grandma or a granddad, right? That is like, I can start talking about it and start crying because you think as a parent, you have the best, most love ever. But wait till you become a grandparent. That is something different. So the grandparents are coming up with their unconditional love, right, from the other side. And so many, our teachers, our loved ones, they're there saying, man, we got you. We know what you've been going through and we got you. Just pay attention. Pay attention. Call out our name. We are there for you, right? And so there's so much love on the other side of this world for us. And all we have to do is be in the space to hear it, to love it, to accept it, and to accept the guidance. You know, too many times we're in our head, you know, hey, Jenny, I think you should open up the spiritual center. I'm like, what? I can't. I'm in my head, you know, I can't do that. And then all of a sudden it plops right in my lap. Here, what are you going to do with it? You know, you got to do something, right? And how many times do we have that plop in our face and we go, no, not right now. Oh, see you later. I'll put it down, right? Spirit right now is strong and they're coming through with good information and they're coming through with transformational information. So I'm asking you to open your heart, open your mind, open your body, open up everything, get out of this, all those old beliefs that people put inside of you, all those things that say you can't. You live in a world of infinite abundance, infinite. So allow it to be and allow for the guidance from the other side. That's what mediumship means to me. That's what mediumship means to me. The love of spirit, the love of my dad, the love of my grandmother coming in and saying, we got you. We're your friend. Call out our name if you need us, right? So allow all of our sparks, our spark of God, to go with all these other sparks of God and be one in this great universe and just love it. And I'll leave you with that message from Spirit. Thank you.